Assalamu alaikum. So I want to talk about the question, the excuse of, I don't have enough time, right? I'm too busy. So now there's one situation where that's a valid excuse. That's a valid thing to say. And that is where you're trying to fob off someone who is trying to, put on a commitment which you really don't want to do, right? For example, a door-to-door salesman, or maybe even your boss where you're already doing three, four, five projects and they're trying to land another one on you, right? Because someone's off, right? And those situations, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm too busy. Right, that's fine, I get that. However, there's another type of I'm too busy, which is when you say that to yourself in order to avoid taking on or focusing on an area of your life which really needs to be prioritized, which is truly important to you. And this could be, for example, in your deen, right? You know that you're not praying properly. You know that it's Ramadan, you hardly spend any time with your Quran. You know that you're not been going Taraweeh Salah. Right? It could be something to do with the deen. Could be to do with your family. Maybe, for example, recently I signed up a client who's a very busy professional, right? Works full time, but then it turned out with some deep questioning that her marriage has been stale for years, right? She's not been working on her marriage for years, and she wanted to actually, she wanted to take on more work, wanted to set up a business, but actually, that type of business was a displacement activity for what the real important thing was, which is to actually spend time with her husband, right? So that's another example, avoiding your spouse. Or it could be another classic, not spending time with your kids. Again, I spoke to someone just yesterday who, for years, because of his overwhelm, had not spent time with the kids, were just avoiding them. And these kids are growing up now and becoming distant. It's so sad, right? Number four, it could be your health, right? You become overweight. That middle-age spread is starting to become worrisome. You're not walking, you're not exercising at all because you're spending all your time with your work and your projects. Number five, sometimes it could be you're not spending time on your work, right? Maybe you're kind of at a level and you've been stagnant for years, and you know that actually if you leveled up, if you got more organized, you would have got promoted last year, right? But you're still in the same position. You're still got that exam to pass, or you're still haven't done that professional certification, whatever it may be. So this one I want to ask yourself is, have you been putting off some major project, some major goal in your life because you're telling yourself you're too busy, right? And if that's the case, that too busy is a lie, because we all have the same 24 hours. And why is it that some people, even in their 20s and 30s, they've achieved so much compared to, maybe yourself, and you know that you've had 5, 10 years more than that other person in the same circumstance, but you've not achieved as much, right? So we all have the same time, but we choose how to spend it. We choose to get busy at work, right? We choose to get busy with family, right? And so what I invite you to do, if this is resonating and you're worried and you'll come to a realization that, yes, maybe I'm getting too busy in one area of my life at the expense of another, what I invite you to do is consider maybe booking a call with me. I offer 15-minute free consultations for professional entrepreneurial Muslims, typically who are well established in their careers and would like an Allah-centered life. If that sounds like you and you're worried that there's imbalance, then there should be a link underneath this, or just message me on either an email or on LinkedIn or on Facebook, and ask me about getting a free consultation where we can talk a little bit more detail about your situation and to see if I'm able to help you, right? There's be nothing for sale. It'll be an informal discussion, but that's the first starting point for many of my clients is to question, like, have they been too busy for too long? And really, is that an excuse, an avoidance strategy for doing the real work which has to be done? Ramadan's a great time to kind of do something like this, to contemplate change. And so, inshallah, I pray that both you and I do not get too busy. Let's ask Allah to busy ourselves with which is most pleasing to Him, and not to busy ourselves with that which is not in our best interest. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum.